it's absurd to think about. Like I think about it very often, like why do people tip? Because like when my Web2 friends or like just generally my people who are not in crypto, they're like, look, why do people tip? And then you have your answers about, hey, like your favorite creators, altruism, so on and so forth. None of those make sense. None of those will get you to PMF, right? Like there has to be a very intrinsic reason as to like why are people tipping.
Some of it is attention to, so if you're tipping, so AJ, for example, is tipping the AJ token. And he's talking about that in our chat right now. And we see that with even bigger brands or projects that are using their token to tip, like Better is a good example with Toady Hawk, but all these different, and that I think is the unlock. When I'm able to tip out a token that I've created or that's bringing attention to my brand, that's, you know, something that is very difficult to capture in general in media. So anything that helps to drive attention to something, I think is super helpful and is going to find that PMF for sure. So when you expand that out and say you're somebody like, I don't know, Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Taco Bell or whatever, if you start to bring in that level, that changes the game and changes the way that they grab attention. And it could be as simple as you like this post and we give you this tip, or they're going around and looking for where they're tagged and doing it that way. So there's all these different approaches that I think are going to be really interesting for brands as well as individuals. But that's where I see the usefulness. So I really appreciated that you were allowed to use other tokens. And, you know, DGen Maxi, love DGen. Think it was really drove this whole narrative. But this adds like a different layer where you can use all different kinds of tokens. I think is super helpful. So appreciate the work here. It's pretty epic.
Thank you to our current and past premier sponsors, Pinata, Matcha, Base, Snickerdoodle, Lil Nouns, and Octant for supporting GM Farcaster. To learn how to sponsor an upcoming show, visit mediakit.gmfarcaster.com.